Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Main Event Podcast, the only podcast you need for your weekly updates, news, information, rumours, and entertainment surrounding the
Yep.
WWE. Episode 8 and the very first podcast of the brand new year. So first off, a Happy New Year to all our listeners. I'm one of your three
Happy New
hosts.
Year.
I was just waiting for it to get interrupted. I'm one of your three hosts, Rosa, and joining me as always, my good
Yeah.
friends, Arif and Imran. How you doing, guys?
Good. Good. How are you, Aaron?
Fantastic.
No,
Welcome back. 2014. It's been a while.
excellent. We're on a roll now, aren't we? Was it 5 in a row now? Something like that?
Like butter.
And of course, we wouldn't be at this stage if it wasn't for the very few avid listeners we have. As always, we've always said if one individual tunes in every single week and listens, we're more than happy. So big thank you.
Unfortunately, we haven't even got that. So thanks for listening, everyone. We're going to pack up now.
Now,
The auditors are here and they're taking everything away. They're taking Imran away as we speak.
Bye.
but yeah, big thank you to the fans slash friends of the Main Event Podcast on Facebook. Some of the comments and feedback we've received truly is brilliant, and we appreciate every single one of you sticking with us, even if the WWE is not your thing, so thank you. As always, want to hear from you in any way and every way possible. Like us on Facebook at the Main Event Podcast, on Twitter at TME Podcast. This is for Arif. Send us an email at tmepodcast@gmail.com. He will reply.
I will be there. Send us a carrier pigeon. Send the carrier pigeon to the north/northeast section. All details about that, you can put in proper coordinates if you'd like into your carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
Under the right wing. And that will send those details straight to us here at the Main Event Podcast Studios.
That's the quickest way to do it.
Yep.
So probably the most favourable as well. And of course, visit our website, www.tme-podcast.com for our latest content, information, a few of the features. Anything you want to ask or send our way, please do get in touch. We'd love to hear from more and more of you as time goes by. And
We accept details from Owl if you're a member of the Magic Society.
Yep.
Flu Network if you're a Harry Potter fan.
That too. And yeah, we do hope you stick with us as we continue our journey to become a top or a recognisable WWE podcast. Hopefully we will get there with your support. As always, we've got some good stuff lined up for you today, just like every week. The reviews, the news and the discussions on a wide array of topics. But let's hand it over to Imran.
Mainly wrestling.
Mainly wrestling, that's what I mean, or topics inside
Yeah.
WWE. But let's hand it over to Imran for the effort he puts into his brilliant SmackDown reviews.
Yep. And SmackDown kicked off with the Shield coming out with Dean Ambrose saying that there's been a lot of rumblings that the Shield are not on the same page. Now Roman Reigns takes the mic and says there's no weak links in the Shield and that there are no problems. Except
for Steph Rollins.
Steph Rollins, yeah. Steph Rollins says that the Shield will do what they always do best, which is come together and dominate. The Usos come out, get a DQ win over the Shield as Dean Ambrose interferes. The Shield beat down the Usos until CM Punk comes out for the save. And that's where we get the big screech of the "Excuse me!"
Well, Steph Rollins says something.
No, Vicky.
Oh, they sound the same.
Yeah, Vicky came out and said that she's going to make a 6-man tag team match for the main event. We get another 6-man tag match on SmackDown. R-Truth defeated Fandango and then danced with the Funkadactyls and Xavier Woods. We got a tag team championship match with the Road Brothers. They defeated the Wyatts, actually. Bray Wyatt was not at ringside and neither was Daniel Bryan.
But it's on SmackDown, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, they were never going to change the titles on SmackDown. Big E Langston defeated Curtis Axel yet again. There was a Divas match in there somewhere. Bad News Barrett segment, which wasn't all good, but it was just, another one of his throwaway segments. But that's where we get the main event. Finally, the main event came. CM Punk and the Usos defeated the Shield with incredible Superman punch by Roman Reigns, even in slow-mo. I recommend you check that out. It was a great move by him. They teased a big breakup again with a spear on Ambrose, but he just missed. And they hyped up Roman Reigns versus CM Punk yet again. The SmackDown ended with a big promo by Bray Wyatt saying that he has good news that Daniel Bryan has found his home.
What, with Nikki Bella?
Oh, with the Wyatts.
Oh, they're not really playing this whole Nikki Bella, Daniel Bryan thing very well, are they?
Not really.
I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on with it because they shouldn't have announced. I don't know. It's apparently Vince's love child.
I don't know. They expect us to forget these things, don't they? Just like Vince was
Exactly.
Vince was supposed to be dead.
What?
When his limo exploded, all that stuff. We're supposed to forget that.
Vince's limo exploded? Oh my god, is he okay?
It was about, what, 5 years later? Yeah, he's fine. He's fine now.
Is he okay now? That's fine.
Yeah, that's
good.
the main thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a lot to discuss on SmackDown, really, is there? There never is every week. That's the general feeling of SmackDown now is just like...
I mean, half the show was taken up with just repeats of Raw, more promos
And the countless tag team matches that we have to sit through.
Yeah.
And the countless Biggie Langston and Curtis Axel matches we have to sit through, which I think was on Raw, Arif, if you want to take us through.
It did filter through, yes. I wondered where I'd heard of that before, because I don't watch SmackDown. Aaron, what would you give SmackDown out of 28?
Yeah, and I would give that a 5 out of 28. So
5 out of 28 isn't bad when you make it out of 5, right?
yeah, no.
No?
Was it?
I don't know. Should we move on to Raw?
Please do.
Finally,
Raw.
let's move on to the old school edition of Raw.
Old school Raw, live from Baltimore, Maryland? They do cookies, right?
Yes,
No
they do.
cookies.
The
Baltimore.
America won't know that.
Woo! Ric Flair starts out old school Raw, and it just brings back so many memories. The crowd, the camera, the ring, and it's so beautiful. Orton comes out, and I thought they'd give Flair the world title to hold on to, but no. Guess not. Orton complains about his upcoming title match against John Cena at the Rumble. Flair and Orton argue as Cena comes out to protect Flair. Cena challenges Orton to a fight, but the Viper just slithers away, and that's all we get from the main eventers at the Royal Rumble on Raw. Welcome to Old School Raw. Recap of the Brian Wyatt segment from last week. The entire bit looked really well done. So we get the Wyatts against the Usos and Mysterio. And Daniel Bryan is officially a member of the Wyatts. What did you guys think of his attire?
I thought it suited him.
I thought it suited him as well.
He looked like a smaller version of Luke Harper.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric Rowan.
Or Eric
Luke
Rowan
Harper.
with hair. And the Usos pick up the win. That's not right. No opinions?
There's nothing to be said about that.
Fair enough.
I'm just a bit surprised. Yeah.
It's announced that Batista's in the Rumble. Why did they say it now when he could have said it himself?
Next week, exactly.
Big E takes on Curtis Axel with Ryback on commentary, and Big E wins with a big ending for a SmackDown recap match. Roddy Piper out next. It's Piper's Pit. The Shield interrupts his promo, but to be fair, they were invited. So is it really an interruption when they just turn up slightly earlier than planned?
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Piper says that the only person that can match him on the microphone is CM Punk. So I don't know if he's being paid off by Punk or if he's part of the Punk crew backstage. Maybe it's him, Punk, and Big E and John Cena, and they're all hanging together, and Ric Flair comes in, and I just imagine this. Cracks start forming in the Shield, and the Shield threaten the Hot Rod before Punk and the New Age Outlaws come out for the save. That was a surprise.
Yeah. And I've got to say, I was going to say, the Piper's Pit segment worked really, really well.
I love that.
I think,
yeah, by far, one of the best.
That was the one thing that I came away with, watching the whole Raw. Piper's Pit and Piper himself was awesome on the mic.
Agreed.
I think it was good how they played how he played off the Roman Reigns being the strongest out of the three, continuing to tease the, eventual breakup. I thought Roman Reigns, although he didn't say a lot, for me he was fantastic in that promo alone, and then to finish it off with what he said to Piper, I thought it was brilliant.
Well, as the Hot Rod said himself, his body might not be what it used to be, but his mind still works, and it just shows that he's able to bring out the best in the Shield and himself with just a little promo.
Yeah.
Now we get Sin Cara facing, get it? It's like last week. All over again. Faces jokes. Alberto Del Rio. We get that stupid blue and gold lighting as Del Rio picks with the win. Seriously, there's no need in the lighting. Get rid of it, WWE. He picks up a mic and says that he's going to make sure he gets rid of Batista in the Rumble.
Which was a bit out of the blue.
Random.
For a bit.
I guess they need something to build Batista up.
But there, as you can say, we've got the updated Royal Rumble card, haven't we? John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista and Del Rio in the Rumble.
Yep.
Shaping up to be excellent.
At least we do know Alberto Del Rio is alive, because recently he's been doing nothing.
He had a concussion, but then we didn't hear anything from him.
Exactly. I mean,
we didn't hear that he even had a concussion.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was surprising. Anyway, the Real Americans come out with the best defense is a fence sign, which I thought was awesome. Did anyone see what was on the back of the sign?
No, I was there for a brief second, but I don't know. I couldn't read what it was.
Not enough time to pause it, right?
Yep.
They're taking on the Rhodes Brothers. The Brotherhood, as Goldust refers to them, pick up the win. Then we get a damn segment backstage with Booker T and DDP, and I didn't understand. But hey, it's another way to get the legends out there. Reza, you might like this bit, because Damien Sandow takes on the Great Khali in a rematch from last week with, wait a minute, Ranjit Singh is back.
Yeah.
Imran's favourite person.
Imran's favourite Punjabi manager.
Yep, Dave Kapoor himself.
Yeah.
We get the results for the special guest referee for this match, and it's Sergeant Slaughter, which isn't a surprise because WWE fans don't really know Bob Backlund and don't really like Arn Anderson, apparently. Khali gets the win when he pins Sandow, but Sandow's foot was on the ropes the entire time. This leads to Sandow arguing with Slaughter, which is only going to end one way. Unfortunately, Raza was a Cobra clutch to Sandow.
It's fine. He's going to be world champion this time next year anyway. So.
Yes, like he was this time last year. The Sarge dances with Khali and Ranjit Singh to end the segment. And this is where Raw, old school, started to get pretty decent. Lesnar and Heyman are out. Another world-class promo from Heyman occurs when he talks about the legends that have reigned supreme. From Bruno Sammartino to Hulk Hogan, who gets a weird boo cheer.
I think that happened throughout the entire night because of the kids. Because, when the kids don't really know who Sergeant Slaughter is, they're not going to show anybody a reaction, are they?
Yeah. No, but I would have thought Hulk Hogan would get a better reaction.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised as well.
Even mentioning him, even people who watch TNA and realise that Hulk's gone downhill and will do anything for money now, must still realise that it's still Hulk Hogan. You'd still be excited to meet him and see him. To Stone Cold Steve Austin, who gets an amazing reaction. He mentions that now there is only one champion again, regardless of who that will be at the Rumble. Heyman pushes the fact that Lesnar will be coming for them. I don't know how they're going to book this, but Brock looks pumped. Who's going to be his next victim? Well, it's Mark Henry again. So Lesnar breaks Henry's arm in the Kimura lock, which they could have done last week, but I guess they did again this week to push the fact that he's a monster still and he needs 2 weeks to take out people. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Lesnar begins to leave, but then the Big Show cuts him off. So Big Show's back. Show throws Lesnar halfway across the ring, and Heyman takes Brock to the back with his old school line for old school Raw. We don't fight for free! We don't fight for free! And then I went for a bathroom break because it's the Bellas facing Alicia Fox and Oksana.
Who won? I need to know that.
I think it was Oksana.
It was the heels.
Yep.
That's not good.
Whoever the heels are, I don't know if the Bellas are heels because they're prostitutes. What?
Who said that?
No. Oh, there must have been some interference in the system. Rikishi and Too Cool are here to save the day. They face 3MB in a squash match. Or at least I thought it was a squash match when I wrote down squash match before the match. And it was only there for the legends to turn it up and boogie. Scotty Too Hotty is a fireman now.
I liked it.
Yep. He gets announced as a fireman by Michael Cole.
Did he?
We get a worm from Scotty. We get a hip-hop drop from Grandmaster 6A. And we get a fall from Rikishi, which looked good. I mean, it was a decent match. It was surprisingly decent. It was a lot longer than it should have been. This
Scott
actually may have been...
still Got it as
Yeah.
well.
Choi looks
And
a
he
lot
looks really
better
good.
than he
He's a
did.
he is a fireman
Yeah.
now.
Looks a lot better than he
Um,
did.
This may have been the longest review I've ever written for a match, guys, and it's for a Too Cool and Rikishi match. They danced the night away like old times. The legends come out to get announced and cheered, every single one of them that was there, apart from JBL. They get interrupted by Bad News Barrett and his ridiculous podium and gavel. His bad news this week is that the legends couldn't be at a flea market and be charging people for posters and pictures. And yeah, and it wasn't very nice. It was...
No,
hey, it was still...
I actually thought, compared to the others that he's done,
Yeah.
this one worked well for him.
Well, yeah, it was,
thought
as
he
I was
got
saying,
over
it was
quite
still
well.
better than The Miz.
It's the best
Yeah.
Bad News Barrett segment we've had, even though
They've all
they're all
been terrible.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, the way that I see it is that they're kind of saving him because when he eventually does get in the ring, his gimmick's going to slightly change, and I think it's changing over time. And
Okay, what do you think's going to happen?
I guarantee you nothing will come from this segment.
Like always.
It's a shame, but nothing will come from it.
How come it's always Wade Barrett it happens to? Nobody
I mean,
knows.
at least he was on Raw, which is more than that could be said for The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, and others. So
Even Sandow.
He was there.
he was there. You need to listen to the Raw review more closely.
Obviously he
Mean
doesn't
Gene
pay
comes out.
attention. It's obvious.
Mean Gene comes out. He announces the New Age Outlaws. They announce CM Punk. So it was just announcing a wrestler. Punk faces Roman Reigns in the main event of Old School Raw, and Reigns picks up the win. Wow.
That was to hype up though, wasn't it? The fact that he is the strongest out of the three
He
and he
was
doesn't
huge.
need them. I think
And
that
that's
was
the-
always coming.
That's the end of Old School Raw. Oh my God!
Not yet.
Jake the Snake Roberts is back! Ah, nobody cares. Drops a snake on Ambrose.
Apart from Michael
and-
Cole, he cared. A
Yeah,
lot.
he really cared.
He made up
I
for
thought it
everyone
was
else.
nice. I thought the idea of him returning, maybe possibly before the Rumble. I mean, he wants to return for the Rumble. I thought it was a nice little idea. Maybe
it
they
me?
were just testing the waters with him.
Was it me or was Ambrose smiling and the entire
Yeah.
time he was on the canvas?
It looked like he was actually knocked out.
Did it? To me, it looked like he was smiling and not
No,
like
he
he
was
did.
smiling.
He didn't want to actually, because that was, just so you all know, ladies and gentlemen, that was a boa constrictor, not actually poisonous, but will constrict you like a boa.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was rubbed all over Dean Ambrose's face.
So maybe that's
Yeah.
why he was smiling. He was nervous.
Someone should call Peter.
They should.
And that is Old School Raw, ladies and gentlemen.
Better than expected.
Definitely. I really enjoyed it. I think this is the first Raw that I've not skipped through in a long time, even a small little bit. I think the only part I skipped through was the Divas match, and it wasn't even that bad.
I thought, I don't know, watching this Old School Raw, I just thought Old School Raws are like constantly good.
Yeah, because last
Old
year was
School
good.
Raws, it gives you that nostalgia feeling, especially with people like our age. We've witnessed a lot of the Attitude Era, but then we've also heard and watched a lot of the old school stuff. So seeing stuff like this live is entertaining for us.
What was your highlight of the night? For
Highlight of the night, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Highlight of the night would have been Hulk Hogan, but he wasn't there.
Yeah. What about yourself, Roswell?
I'm going to go with the actual match between Punk and Reigns. I thought the finish was really good. And obviously,
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. I thought that whole match was an absolute gem. And it really, like,
Finished off
showed
in a
what
good way.
Roman Reigns,
yeah,
got.
he doesn't need them now, as you can see.
Yeah.
Don't you think the Legends, though, the Legends Raw, even though it was awesome seeing all the Legends, they never really had a big impact to the actual show? Like, the only one that really got involved was Ric Flair.
Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter had a bit.
Yeah, but not really, not
Piper's-
really an important...
Oh yeah, Roddy Piper. He
Rowdy Roddy
Yeah,
Piper.
sorry, yeah. Oh, but that, to be fair, that, and then the New Age Outlaws as well with Punk. So I guess I was
It
wrong.
was a bit of a balance.
What was the worst part of the night? Apart from the Divas, we don't count that. We never count that.
The Great Khali pinning Damian Sandow.
Can I just ask, where was AJ Lee?
Probably with Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston and The Miz and and countless other
The
superstars.
Miz isn't cool enough to hang out with these lot.
Well, neither's. Well, would you say that Ziggler is the same? Ziggler's awesome.
Yeah, Ziggler's cool. That's my
I'd love
point.
to see
What about
a Ziggler Punk feud in the future, but it's not going to happen.
Yep. Talking about Ziggler, I heard he's got a concussion.
Oh, well, that maybe is why he wasn't there.
That's the first I'm hearing of his concussion.
Really?
Yeah.
Breaking news: WWE superstar
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler concussion, as reported by the Main Event podcast. Simran, bank on it.
Yes. No, honestly, it was reported he had a concussion a couple of days
Now
ago.
he's taking over my news segment as well. What's going on?
Yes.
You don't pay attention to Raw. You take over my news.
taking over the Main Event podcast.
Imran, do you need a number 2? Because, I mean, I have nothing to do now.
Well, I guess I'll just leave.
Yep, well, see you later, Rosa. Time for the news with Imran.
Which all the listeners close the podcast now.
Yep. No, I prefer listening to the news. So
Before we go on
Rosa,
to that,
go ahead.
I just want to ask what was the worst part of Raw for you guys?
Worst part of Raw. I would say that segment with the superstars and the legends. The Bad News Barrett segment.
Oh, okay.
No, I like that. I would have to say, actually, it's one of the ways that one of the matches ended. It was with Cody Rhodes. At the end, he was
Yeah, apparently
in
he's got an
pain.
injury, so...
Yeah, he was in a lot of pain, and he's one superstar that like I love to see in the ring.
Yeah.
I love to watch his matches, so I don't want to see him injured.
Who knows?
Rosa, what about yourself?
I'm going to say not seeing more of Orton and Cena, as I said before, the main event of Royal Rumble.
No, of course.
All we saw was the quick, I'll fight you, I don't want to fight you. And then Orton running away and holding his titles. Cena hugging Flair about 7 times.
Don't you think it would have been better if Flair had... Sorry, Orton had interrupted Flair, and then maybe Triple H had interrupted Orton, and then maybe even Batista had interrupted Triple H? It would have been a nice little segment for
That
the
would have been
forum, and
good.
it would have set up a possibility,
Yeah, because I think
possible match
I
at
think
WrestleMania.
one thing they could have done was, I know they touched on it a little bit, but I reckon they could have hyped up more of their Evolution days, which I
Yeah,
would have
definitely.
liked. Which they didn't. They did a bit like Flair said, we picked
Or
you
even,
out.
or even have Triple H and Stephanie there. They weren't... Hold on.
I didn't notice
Exactly,
them.
weren't
I didn't notice them there either. I thought Irish might have pointed that out.
Wow. That's just dawned on me. We saw Brad Maddox and Kane and their little segment backstage where
was good.
Kane threatens
That
to-
was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Kane
With the
can go
mask in the
back?
background.
Do you think Kane will go back as
I think
Superstar.
Kane is a sleeper. Is the word sleeper where they're a secret spy for the Wyatt family? The sleeper agent.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
I think Kane's a sleeper agent for the Wyatt family. That's on my honest opinion. I think the machine that Brian always talks about is the corporation, and eventually Kane will turn on the corporation and side with the Wyatts, and the Wyatts will be the faces in that.
that's actually not a bad.
The creepy faces. Don't you?
That's actually really interesting.
See? Hey, I'm not just a pretty face for radio.
Actually, the thing is with Kane this week, it reminded me of something that TNA is doing with.
No one cares about. No one cares about.
Oh no.
This is a
No.
wrestling podcast.
It's a WWE pod.
Everyone loves TNA.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you love TNA, so you
I
can
love
have
TNA. Do you know what, Imran? I know exactly what section you're talking about as well.
Yeah, it reminds me of, what they're doing with Abyss, where Abyss is this monster, but he's got this alter ego as Joseph Parks, the lawyer. It kind of reminded me of that, where like he goes back from, he's either one or the other thing. He's got like 2 characters.
I think with that, they've played that off really, really well in TNA. I don't see WWE doing it in that sort of way, because obviously everyone knows that Kane is Kane and Kane is also Kane. I think the way they're going to do it is there's going to be a signal, or there's going to be something that triggers Kane off. Like the Bell used to do with Festus, there's going to be something that makes Kane back into the monster and makes him take down the machine from the inside.
And what could that be?
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
The gong.
Actually, that does kind of make sense when you
Now
consider
it all ties in.
when we said last week. I'm sure we did. If not, this is the first you're hearing of it. That Undertaker is rumoured to face Daniel Bryan, who's part of the Wyatt family for now. So I think, in a way, it all does tie in. I'm sorry, WWE, if you ruined your plans.
Yep.
But
Apologies.
I think it makes sense.
That does make sense considering WWE's been no secret that they've had a long gaming plan for like months and months now.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
We've done it, guys. We've
fixed the WWE.
Yep.
Thanks for listening.
So yeah,
That was WrestleMania.
yep. So now we can move on to the news.
My favourite segment.
And we'll see about this week. It's as we saw yesterday, and as I've just pointed out, Alberto Del Rio talking about the man they shouldn't be talking about, Dave Bautista, and Batista did
They're talking about everywhere.
Batista responded to Del Rio on Twitter. Always interesting. Batista is a guy you should follow. Well, you should have followed before his return, because now he won't be as outspoken as he was. He tweeted, "So I hear Alberto Del Rio has been talking trash. One question, who the hell is Alberto Del Rio?" Fair enough.
I think this is just going to set up maybe a January 20th face-off between them where Batista gets to do a spine buster and a powerbomb and look strong at the end of Raw.
But continuing to bury Del Rio. Someone's got to do it. At least it's not Ziggler. Following the second consecutive week of being attacked on Raw by Brock Lesnar for no apparent reason, WWE are reporting that Mark Henry suffered a dislocated and fractured elbow due to that Kimura lock that Lesnar applied to him at old school.
It's old school Raw, Michael.
I don't know if he's legit injured. Maybe he's going to take a bit more time off. Now with the Big Show involved.
Maybe.
Who knows? WWE Hall of Famer Jericho King Lawler, he was sent to hospital yesterday by the WWE after he began throwing up and showing other signs of illness. Apparently it had nothing to do with his heart, so thankfully he's okay there. But they've done his blood work and apparently he's now fine. He was I'm not sure if he was backstage at Raw. People are saying he is, some people are saying he isn't, but they decided not to have him.
Well, Michael Cole said he was just relaxing with the legends backstage, but I would have thought they'd bring him out maybe just to
cheap plugs with the app, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Go to the WWE app. I thought that was a bit. That's WWE
but then,
for you.
What I don't understand is when it's an exclusive on the WWE app, don't put it back on Raw afterwards, because then it's not exclusive anymore.
It's got to fill time, haven't it?
Exclusive.
I don't know if we missed this. Yesterday on Raw, they were saying they've got this big announcement on Wednesday. That's going to be streamed live on WWE.com, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I have no idea what time that is in the UK.
That's 7 hours? No, 5 hours.
5 hours. Sometime after.
Half two in the morning?
Half two.
Greenwich Mean Time, 2:30.
Yeah. So I doubt it any of us will be up to watch that. Vince McMahon, John Cena, Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, all scheduled to be in attendance. It's not officially announced. The general feeling is that this is the official announcement of the WWE Network's launch date. Finally, they're going to go ahead with it. Who knows? It could be anything, but most likely that is the...
No, Russell, to a normal fan, this may be... Obviously, I know what the WWE Network is. It would be silly if I didn't. But, I mean, regular people may not. Why don't you explain it like I was a 10-year-old so other people could understand what the WWE Network is?
The best we can explain it is... I think, if I'm wrong, does this apply only in the USA? Because we can still watch it on Sky Sports. But in the USA, they won't use the USA Network. And Sci-Fi, they'll have their own network.
Well, apparently they might have a carrier who carries the channel, like on the desk, like the set-top boxes and stuff. But apparently it might be online. So if it is online, then we could watch it.
Okay.
What is it though? Is it going to be where all of the WWE shows are from now on, or is it going to be?
But I don't think that would apply here because all ours is on Sky Sports. Unless they launch the channel here, the network here.
I thought WWE was recently going to renew their channel something with Raw and SmackDown and everything, and they're going to sell it all off. And I thought that was the big deal. So why are they?
Well, no, but they could always have that, but they could always put their content online and stuff on their network. You know, like they're doing with Netflix and like they're doing with Hulu.
That's why they're taking stuff off YouTube and Netflix and stuff now, so it remains exclusive to them guys. So
I mean, if they bring together stuff like all the shows, the Total Divas, the Legend House that they've had rumored for some time.
I think you can say your pre-shows as well now will probably be on the network as
Heck,
well, which is good for the
heck, you
WWE.
never know. A few pay-per-views as well.
You never know, they might try that out. But obviously, it's all positives for them. They can't. I don't think they'll lose out on anything really. The views are going to still be there. But yeah, if that's the case, then that's what's happening. Obviously, nothing's announced. That's just a rumor that's what all these superstars are going to be there for.
It could be another 40-man Royal Rumble.
It could be, but I don't see why they'd wait that long to tell us. Why
Exactly.
Yeah. If the rumoured Roman Reigns face turn plays out, obviously it will. It's going to happen. There have been reportedly talks of a different superstar filling the vacant role in the Shield.
Oh.
Are you ready for this? This is big news.
Is it, can we guess, or?
No, because I know everyone probably already knows.
Okay, can I guess?
You can guess.
Biggie Langston.
Nope.
Oh, yes. No?
No.
No? Can I have a clue?
Is it an NXT star?
He's an NXT star. Well,
Oh.
NXT talent. Let's not say star. He's an NXT talent. So that takes Arif out of the equation. Imran, what is
Yep.
your guess?
Bo Dallas.
God, let's be realistic.
Bo
Well,
Dallas.
Raza, I'll let you reveal it because
Yeah, so if this face turn does play out, apparently in the next few months it is going to happen, NXT talent Mason Ryan is
Mason
going
Ryan.
to fill the vacant role in the
Mason
Shield.
Ryan.
Mason Ryan.
We've already seen him.
But that's why I said he's not new. But
Oh.
not
Yeah,
to say, nothing's confirmed, but it's been
don't you remember
discussed.
when he actually joined the Nexus and the Nexus was it died.
So listen, I think in a way it's good because at least the Shield will still be there. If I don't know, but they need to make sure that microphone stays out of Mason Ryan's hand.
Wow.
And just let Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. I think they need the muscle. I think Biggie Langston's recent face turn, he probably would have been number one choice. But
It ain't enough though, Raza. It ain't enough.
Yeah,
He needs 5.
But obviously nothing is confirmed. It's just discussed in creative meetings. They could change it tomorrow if they wanted to. The singles match.
Let's hope they do.
Let's hope they do for sure. The singles match between CM Punk and Triple H at WrestleMania is now reportedly a lock for the event. So that means it is going ahead. Unless something, drastic happens and it won't. But as of right now, that match is the one on the WrestleMania card. They're said to be planning another Summer of Punk storyline. As we saw in 2013 with Brock Lesnar. Apparently this storyline will culminate in a Punk versus Batista match at SummerSlam. But obviously take that news with a grain of salt. Because of the time frame that is probably going to conflict with Batista's Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which comes out in the same month, so they probably will be doing promotion for that. But that's
Or as I like to call it, Avengers Space Edition.
Avengers Space. A new report, I don't know how new it is, another latest idea for WrestleMania is for Hogan to team up with John Cena and Daniel Bryan.
Why? What are they doing?
Or let me finish. I'm not eager. Or Roddy Piper to face the White family. WWE is said to be feeling that Hogan will not pass the required company physical and he probably won't be cleared to wrestle, but he might be cleared to participate in a 6-man tag where he'll probably just come in at the end, do his leg drop and pick up the win. I think obviously Daniel Bryan joining the White family on Raw is part of a much bigger storyline that will probably culminate at WrestleMania 30. But yeah, as in right now, all they're doing is throwing ideas around. Nothing's official, they're all rumours. But apparently Roddy Piper was the one who pitched the idea of teaming with another heel to face Hogan and Cena.
That makes more sense, but still, why would you put Cena in this
I have no idea.
mediocre match?
As in Roddy Piper wants to see, because of his 30th anniversary, they want to see something like what they saw at Hogan and Mr. T versus Piper or Orndorff. They want to
WrestleMania 1.
Yeah, they want to kind of do something like that.
Then if you're gonna do that, what?
Full circle. That would be wonderful.
No,
That's
but you don't put Hogan with the biggest star who could be in a huge match against the Undertaker.
You do, because he would actually pull off a really good match. A really good match.
You really think Hogan could pull off a really good match?
What happens though is it'll be Hogan and Roddy Piper will be on the outside for 90% of the match. Whoever Piper chooses will be inside the ring with Cena.
And who's Piper going to choose?
That's
Let's be
the main
realistic.
thing, exactly.
That's
We have
the
no
thing. It
idea.
could be anyone right now.
Obviously,
If it was Hogan, Cena versus Roddy Piper and Orton, for example, then it would be more believable. But there's no one that could be in that tag team position with Piper right now. There's no one that's a heel that's big enough.
I think a tag team match is never a big match at WrestleMania. Unless it's some kind of 6-way tag TLC for the title match. then otherwise it is not a big match. I think
It's
Cena
going to play off as a singles match though, so...
it will, but I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope, obviously, what we discussed last week.
Do you really want WrestleMania 30 to have John Cena in a secondary role?
Exactly.
He won't be secondary.
It will. No, it will be
Because of
though.
Hulk Hogan.
The feud won't be around him. It'll be around whoever Piper's picked as a tag team partner. It's not going to be Cena versus Orton, and then Cena gets Hogan involved, and Orton gets Piper involved. It's going to be Hogan gets Cena involved, and Piper gets...
How about this? John Cena and Hulk Hogan versus the Real Americans.
Terrible.
Terrible?
You're not using Cena's full potential. Cena could genuinely face The Undertaker at this WrestleMania. He could be in the main event against Batista at this WrestleMania.
I think
he could be in the main event against Daniel Bryan at this WrestleMania. He could face anyone at this WrestleMania.
If you're gonna have Hulk at WrestleMania, you have to have John Cena with him. He's not gonna carry a whole match.
You don't have Hulk Hogan wrestling. Then you have him in a surprise segment where he comes out and does a couple of... You don't need him wrestling.
But the thing with John Cena is that John Cena could get a tense rivalry out of anybody in a month's time span. And if you're saying the Real Americans, can you realistically see a tense feud between John Cena and Hulk, or whoever you said, against the Real Americans?
There's no one that can face John Cena right now that's believable to beat.
John Cena will.
John Cena. Do you really think the Real Americans are believable to beat John Cena?
John Cena will suffer.
You want that at WrestleMania.
Cena will suffer in a tag match.
Yep.
And I hope that doesn't happen. I hope singles. I don't know. I think even having Hulk as a manager will probably be a wrong decision. But as I said, Hulk, he doesn't need to wrestle. He can be, what The Rock was at WrestleMania whenever it's Cena and Miz fought off in the main event. Or is he the host? That's it.
WrestleMania host.
That's all that Hulk will get a reaction from the adults no matter what. He doesn't need to wrestle.
Now, Reza, you've just mentioned Hulk Hogan as a possible manager. Now, that brings me on to a very, very good idea that I've just had. Okay. In my opinion, anyway.
Is it your theory of the week?
It's unfortunately not my theory of the week.
Oh, okay.
You're in for a treat. Two ideas from Aaron.
Just something I thought of right now. What if it's John Cena versus... I want to say either Daniel Bryan or Batista at WrestleMania. Batista is the WWE champion, or even a triple threat match. Batista, Orton, and Cena. Hogan is in Cena's corner. Triple H or Stephanie is in Orton's corner, and then Batista gets Vince McMahon. But then Vince McMahon screws Batista and sides with Cena and Hogan, and that's the ultimate heel turn at WrestleMania 30. We get Cena and Hogan turning heel. I mean, obviously, it's never going to happen, but...
It's a big ask, isn't it?
How awesome would that be?
That would be awesome. I think the only problem there is Vince has always made it clear he's not a fan of John Cena.
What?
So I don't... No, as in, storyline-wise, not... Backstage, we know he's the biggest guy.
But think about it. Like, Vince McMahon did the same thing to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Fair enough.
Hey, it's WrestleMania 30 where miracles happen again. All begins.
Let's move on now. This probably applies to Imran a little more. He can probably tell us if these guys are right or not. WWE.com have a new staff piece up, which is a good article. I recommend you to read it. No, it's not difficult. They examine which NXT talents will be the next breakout stars of the WWE. Obviously, we know these guys are going to carry the WWE unless they get sacked. Some stars highlighted in the article, they include Paige.
Oh, awesome diva.
Aiden English.
Incredible.
Alexander Rusev.
Okay.
Fair enough. A guy who Triple H really likes, and Cena, Enzo Amore.
Oh, incredible talker. Incredible. Yeah.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Enzo Amore.
Yeah, I think it's about time to tell our fans when Enzo Amore does make his debut on the main roster. Arif is doing his theme music. It's
da 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 da. That's Amore.
That's brilliant. Really brings a tear to my eye. Sami Zayn, as we know, big one. Bo Dallas.
I'm not a fan of Bo Dallas. I hate him.
Emma, and then obviously the Ascension.
Yeah. Top
so if you had to pick
I'd love
one,
to see the Ascension.
If you had to pick one, including the group, if you had to pick one, who do you think would make the biggest? Well, who's the next breakout star?
Well, the next breakout star, this is my prediction for 2014. You can take my word down. Sami Zayn is going to make his debut on the main roster this year.
Okay, do you mean one-time match, or will he
No.
make that debut and stay there?
He will make that debut, he will stay there, and deserve...
From the new Evan Bourne.
Yeah, no, he will hold the mid-card title.
My 2014 prediction from Diesel will be Bo Dallas is going to lose his NXT Championship. Bold prediction.
Very bold.
I'm taking a risk here, guys. I'm putting my knowledge on the line. I genuinely think he's going to lose the title.
Paige will be the next breakout star from NXT. She deserves it.
Okay, we got something from Arif, the biggest NXT fan here.
Yep. That other guy. Think he's called Bray Wyatt. Yep, he'll do well.
Talking to Bray Wyatt, the minute he's considered WWE's top project right now, officials are very high on him.
What a perfect
they
segment.
want him to be a top act in the company, and that was not planned. We did not plan that. Obviously, we know Triple H is the main guy behind the Push family. Yep.
No, I thought we were leading on again. I missed the cue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's been teasing a project with DC Comics. And this is just aimed at Imran, isn't it, today's segment? He's teasing a project with DC Comics and Warner Brothers. The big rumor is that he's had discussions with Warner Brothers to play the role of Green Lantern, Jon Stewart.
Yes.
Member of the Green Lantern Corps and the Justice League of America. There's no confirmation, but there have been rumors of both a Green Lantern reboot and the possibility of Lantern being used in the Batman vs Superman film. Both times, Jon Stewart is probably going to be in it.
Isn't Bray Wyatt a better choice for that? He already has a lantern. You just paint it.
Oh, wow.
No?
No. Johnson is seen as the actor they can because he can rehabilitate movie franchises. He's helped, revitalize Fast and Furious and the G.I. Joe.
And Scorpion King.
Let's not go down that road.
The Tooth Fairy.
Another superstar WWE are very high on. NXT star.
Walking tall.
Again, Imran. Again, Imran. Mojo Rawley. According to sources, they believe that Rawley could carry the company into the future.
What?
He's likely to be pushed very strong when he's brought up to the main roster. It highlights when and not if, so we can probably expect... I should have moved that story up a place, shouldn't I? That would probably have fit in well.
Yeah, as in, quite clearly, you see him as the future John Cena, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you've not seen Mojo Rawley, please check him out on YouTube or the WWE Network. In a recent interview on WWE.com, Triple H talked about how epic WWE would be in 2014. He mentioned top names, and that wasn't just a regular interview. Apparently he was dropping hints on what's going to happen with the world title picture this year. He mentioned Orton, Batista, Punk, Bryan, Cena, Lesnar. This is assumed that Triple H might have teased the match as an Elimination Chamber main event. Not confirmed, but that's what it's seen as of right now. I'm sure one of us said that last week, or that was me.
Obviously that would be for the title, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Then who would be the Royal Rumble winner?
Kane.
Let's move on. According to sources, a potential match... We'll get to Royal Rumble a little later. A potential match between Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker has been discussed at WrestleMania 30, but there are growing concerns that could prevent the match from happening. I think right now you can say it's not on. The biggest concern is that Lesnar's physical style is not pairing well with the limited Undertaker. Talking of physical, did you
want to do it?
Did you see Big Show chucking Lesnar like a rag doll on Raw? That was crazy. This is why WWE officials originally considered Sheamus as Undertaker's opponent. Daniel Bryan vs Undertaker at Taker's request.
You believe.
Yeah, Undertaker and Daniel Bryan is also on the table. The thing with this is Brock Lesnar is because Undertaker's opponents in recent years, they've planned their matches with Undertaker in great detail. They practice with him every week, probably several times a week before the pay-per-view. And there's concern that Lesnar would be unwilling to put that amount of time in to prepare for one match.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, they'd obviously be willing to do it. They're both considered like company men.
Well, obviously, it's because Brock Lesnar doesn't fight for free. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. That's
practice is free still.
Yeah. Who knows? But as we said last week, Undertaker has requested Daniel Bryan. Whether he's granted his request, we don't know. But as Arif pointed out, and then we all came to that conclusion that it could be The Undertaker linking in with the Wyatt family storyline.
Could be.
Could be. Another
Yep.
original plan was for the Big Show at the Royal Rumble to face Brock Lesnar with Big Show as a main event player by that time. By the time the pay-per-view arrived.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. The plan was discussed before the titles were unified when Big Show
Wow.
was feuding with the Authority. He was expected to get big victories over Orton and Triple H without winning the title, so he could look strong for a match against Lesnar at the Rumble. Lesnar
Which is looking likely now.
Lesnar would defeat Big Show to look strong for his match with The Undertaker. But no, that's probably not going to happen. So it's unknown if this plan is confirmed moving forward now that Show's phased out of the program with, Orton and the Authority after losing at Survivor Series. But that was the plan a few months ago. Now we just have to play the waiting game or continue reading the dirt sheets. Regarding CM Punk's recent tweets, where he seems to be venting out his frustrations, saying he is tired of traveling. The thing within WWE is that Punk always takes to Twitter when he's frustrated. So they're not afraid that he's going to leave at any point.
Can you blame him for being frustrated right now?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. I'm surprised Batista decided to come back when he said he's not happy with it. But, it's good for fans. Finally, when asked if he was returning at WrestleMania 30, The Rock posted the following on Twitter. He tweeted, "Between Vince, Brock and myself, our WrestleMania 30 plan was Rock versus Brock. No plans for 30, but possibly Mania 31. So we'll probably see that. Match confirmed. Main Event Podcast exclusive.
Match confirmed.
WrestleMania 31, Rock versus Brock. I think the last time
Special guest referee Vince McMahon.
Yep. And that, guys, is the news. A lot of news. Most of it probably had no relevance. But I got it in there anyway.
It leads nicely onto my theory of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Highly anticipated.
Here we go. And my theory of the week this week is that someone will win the Royal Rumble and face the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania.
Wow.
In all honesty, there's not much that can be predicted in the WWE at the moment. I mean, we genuinely have several possibilities to the Royal Rumble winner at the moment. Champions could be changing hands. Championships could be changing hands as well as champions. You never really know. And so this is the question I'm going to pose to you. And I'd like your opinions first because this leads on to my theory of the week at the end.
Okay.
Who do you think will win the Royal Rumble and why? Imran, should we start with you?
I'm going to have to go with a superstar with the name beginning with B, Brock Lesnar. I'm going to stick with him.
Why would you say Brock Lesnar could win it?
Well, I think, you know what, when it comes to the title picture, we've had the usual John Cena versus Orton thing, but it's about time that they put somebody else, somebody a lot more legitimate, somebody a lot more, bigger and fresher than them two. So that guy is Brock Lesnar. I mean, you know what, put him in the biggest match, of WrestleMania, put the biggest title around his waist. You know what, he'll give you a top match. He'll give you the match the fans want to see. So,
fair enough. Reza, what about yourself?
My superstar also begins with B. This is a fun game, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a fun game.
CM Punk?
Not CM Punk. I'm going to go with...
John Cena?
It starts with D. Dave Batista.
Oh.
I think Batista because, if we're honest, I don't think why the WWE would have brought him back at this stage if he wasn't primed to win the Rumble. I think heading into WrestleMania, he's one of the guys alongside Cena who got the best reaction. They were the company's biggest men back in the day. I don't know, 5-6 years ago possibly, when Cena was the Raw guy, Batista was the SmackDown guy. Leaving at that stage with John Cena, I reckon having him come back full circle again with John Cena, who I hope is champion by then, to face off against Batista at the biggest stage. This is Batista's final run. I think it's possible that he can do it. And I hope he does it as a big Batista fan.
So you think it'll be John Cena versus Batista at WrestleMania?
I can see that happening.
Yeah! Oh, wow.
Timing.
Yeah! Yeah!
Someone choking. What's happening?
Because, ladies and gentlemen, my theory of the week is that Daniel Wyatt will win the Royal Rumble and face John Cena at WrestleMania.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, because it makes sense, right? I mean, we're going to have the Wyatts versus the Corporation. John Cena is going to be forced to team with the Corporation. He's going to have Cena's going to have Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie, Kane, Brad Maddox, Vicky Guerrero in his corner, and Brian's going to have the Wyatts, and then Sleeper Cell Kane will pop up and turn on the corporate. No.
What is going on? I think we just lost track
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah. I just really wanted to do that. No, I genuinely think that it'll be Daniel Wyatt as the champion at WrestleMania.
So do you think the Wyatt family will still be together with Daniel Bryan? Sorry, not.
Forever.
I think they could break up by that time.
You're home now, Brian.
Shouldn't have called him that, should he?
Wyatt.
Well, actually, he can't. It's his real name, so it makes sense either way.
Brian. Daniel.
So yeah, just like we did, we want you to get in touch with your picks, who you think's going to win the Royal Rumble. We've got Brock Lesnar from Imran, I pick Batista, Irish picks Daniel Wyatt.
So now, guys, we're going to move on to what I've done basically. I've picked 5 dream feuds that we could see this year, but this is the bit that Irish is not going to like. CM Punk and John Cena don't make the 5. I've decided not to put them in the 5.
Yeah, I mean,
you might as well leave. You might as well just.
We were mentioning this, and honestly, like we were mentioning this just slightly before the podcast came on air, and I just don't understand how you can have the top 5 one.
Okay, let's give him a chance. Let's see what he has to say.
Not top 5. It's not top 5. It's just I wanted 5 different dream feuds.
Yeah, let's just see what he has to say before laying into him.
Okay.
And I want to know what you guys think of it, right?
Let's see.
The first one.
I was preparing what he's going to say already.
First one is something that's been going around: Daniel Bryan versus The Undertaker.
Not going to happen next.
Not going to happen. I don't think so.
Right, and what about Brock Lesnar versus Batista?
I hope it happens, but it won't happen.
Won't happen next?
Why wouldn't like to see 2 MMA guys like face it out in the ring?
By the time that happens, it's most likely to be SummerSlam. Batista will be gone by then. And
TNA already did it with Tito Ortiz and Rampage Jackson. It wasn't very good, and then UFC basically told them, or Strikeforce basically said, "Sorry, you can't wrestle anymore." Same thing will happen with Batista and Brock Lesnar. Predicted.
Right, next, Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns.
Could happen.
See, it's a difficult one because I'd rather see Roman Reigns elevated than have a full-on feud. You're talking about full-on feud, not just one match, right?
Yeah, full-on feud.
And that one, it might happen for a bit at the start.
I wouldn't like to see that.
Put it this way, people are saying Roman Reigns is going to be world champion by next year. So you possibly can see an Ambrose feud stuck in there at the start. If it goes past, I don't know, summer without having feuded against Ambrose, I don't think it's going to happen.
He needs a bigger first feud, I think.
Right, next, Batista versus John Cena.
I thought John Cena was in this list.
What happened to Cena not be on this list?
Yeah, I wasn't going to put him on the list. But I ended up deciding to.
That's false advertising.
Well, I think, as a Batista fan, as I said before, the way he left was through John Cena. And to come back full circle would be perfect because they were the 2 biggest men of the company. I'd like to see that happen. I do think that could happen in 2014.
I'd rather see Batista versus CM Punk.
That could happen as well.
Yeah.
Unless that was the next one.
Yeah, but apparently it's not because...
No.
It's got to be Jamie Sandow. It's got to be.
No, finally, The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar.
I think if you don't see it at WrestleMania 30, you won't see it again.
Basically, what we're saying is... Imran, what you're saying is you want 2 feuds to happen that only one of could happen. Daniel Bryan versus The Undertaker or Brock versus Undertaker. Undertaker's only going to face one of those men at WrestleMania. If he faces Bryan, yes, he could face Brock, but is the Brock match not a bigger match technically? If Brock faces Undertaker, who says Undertaker could even compete again this year, let alone any pay-per-view of the year? So I think only one of those matches will happen, or it could even be a Cena versus Undertaker match. I'd rather see a Cena.
I'd say Cena as well. He's the company's biggest man, and he's not had a shot yet.
It's the natural
Yeah.
successor to
I can see
CM Punk.
I can see Cena being his final opponent as well, and closing that chapter for good. Well, I don't know if it's whether this year, but as I said, I'd much rather see Cena Undertaker than Bryan Undertaker and Lesnar Undertaker.
I mean, I think
So
the way...
a couple of weeks ago, like on the actual podcast, we were talking about it, and used to really want to see these two face off, the Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar.
Not compared to Cena, because
I think Cena's the be-all and end-all for the Undertaker.
it's got to be the final chapter in Undertaker's career.
Cena's like the final boss.
I mean, it's either Cena or Kane, so...
Or even Sting, if we can finally get a deal sorted out for Sting, although it will make Sting look really weak.
Yeah, and especially as... Well, I did say last week, if Sting does come, he won't face Undertaker first time. He'll face him
Kane
second
first,
time. But
then...
if Undertaker's still around for that second, that's probably the key thing. Who knows, this could be his last. I hope it's not. I hope. At the minute, it's looking like he's going to face Bryan. If he faces Bryan, we've still got to see a Lesnar match. We've still got to see a Cena match. And as I've said, we've got to see a Sting match. There's no way Undertaker can be around for 3 more years, I think, in my opinion. I think maximum 2 out of those, 3 or 4 guys will get a shot at him. And in my opinion, it should be Lesnar and Cena.
I would say Sting.
Sorry,
and
yes,
Cena.
Sting. I forgot Sting completely.
There we go.
Sting and Cena, not Lesnar and Cena. Sting.
I think Daniel Bryan could be in other feuds. I think this year Daniel Bryan versus Shawn Michaels would be a huge match. Obviously, it just depends on whether Shawn comes out of retirement, but I think that's the match that I really want to see at this year's WrestleMania, along with Cena Undertaker. But we've been disappointed in the past.
As I said last week, I changed my tune on the Bryan and Shawn. I hope that does happen, but...
Sweet chin music.
And
changed your tune.
I think that won't happen if he's still part of the Wyatt family. I don't know why. I just got that feeling. It could be incorporated, but I don't...
Corporation?
Oh my word, what is wrong with him today? He's on a roll. But yeah. So Imran, what would you rather see then? Out of the 4 we mentioned, who do we say? Cena, Bryan, Lesnar, Sting. If Undertaker has 2 WrestleManias left in him, maximum, which 2 would you rather see in order?
Maximum, I would love to see John Cena.
Exactly. It's got to be...
Yeah,
it's just natural, as I said.
Cena this year, then Sting next year. I think the Sting match is a bigger match, but not for WrestleMania 30, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the Sting match would be a hardcore fan's dream match.
Yeah.
But I don't think the actual match itself will be any good.
That's the thing.
Will the streak ever get broken?
WWE won't sign Sting if he wants to end the streak.
Yeah.
Unless
the thing is with a person like The Undertaker, he's actually really willing to elevate new talent. And that's why I think if somebody does break the streak, Undertaker will be more willing for a new superstar to break the streak.
Undertaker might be willing, but I don't think WWE will want to do it.
Yeah.
I think WWE will want to have that guy when 20 years down the line.
Imagine if someone like Bo Dallas had broken the streak and then we didn't hear from him again. It's a big risk to place on a youngster. Even someone like Dean Ambrose, even someone with the world at his feet. I mean, look at Drew McIntyre. Everyone said, oh, he will be the next big thing. He'll break the streak. Where did he go? And he went downhill. And
what about...
he's terrible now.
Apparently there was something with Kurt Angle saying he wants a final run like Batista. He mentioned Bryan, Punk.
He can hardly walk.
Jericho and Undertaker's opponents. As in, I'd love to see that, but it's not going to happen, is it? You've got to be realistic. The most realistic, as we've said, are Cena, not Batista, Brock Lesnar, and Daniel Bryan.
Possibly Sting as
and
well.
Sting, I reckon he's...
Sting's contract's coming up.
The only thing with them is there's only one star that's a legitimate threat to his streak, John Cena.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, 100%.
Agreed, yeah.
And let us know what you think. Who will, if they will, be Undertaker's final opponent? I think we can unanimously agree on it's going to be Cena or Sting. Yeah?
Yep.
Let us know. Email us. And I think that is the conclusion of our podcast. First one, 2014.
Wow.
Yep.
It's been good. Again, thank you for the support. Next week, we hope to give our awards for 2013, if we can remember that far back, and preview what could happen in 2014.
Yep.
Co-host of the year, Arif Afzal.
And yeah, so please continue listening. Please subscribe on YouTube, Podomatic, especially iTunes. Every download helps. Every comment helps. Every rating helps. We want to
In
get...
second place, Imran Raja.
That's not fair. I mean,
I've not... You don't know who came third.
well,
In third place, Chris Jericho.
it's Jericho.
You get the best Anchorman award.
Yeah. Best Anchorman.
Was that me?
Where's that? Oh no, that goes to Ron Burgundy. Or
Yep.
aka
Who's on
JBL. Michael! I'm Michael.
And with these guys going off track, it's time to say bye. Please tune in next week. We're going to try and upload again, positively. So yeah, this has been the Main Event Podcast, WWE episode 8 or 9. 8, I think.
Email us.
Email us. I'm still waiting. Facebook, Twitter, website.
tmepodcast@gmail.com.
And it's a bye from me, guys.
Hope you had fun. I know I did. Bye from me.
www.tme-podcast.com. Podcast with a P. Bye, guys.